Students, now we are going to revise for revision test 1 portion from lesson number 1, 2, 4 and 5. Before starting this class, we are going to recall the last class. In the last class, 2 sessions we had completed 2 and 3 more questions from lesson number 1, 2, 4 and 5. Now, we are going to revise from lesson number the same lesson 1 2 4 and 5 more questions only. First we can see the chapter 1. Title of the chapter is Principles of Management. The first question, explain the concept of management. The management concept can be understood from its profound characteristic features as follows. First one, body of knowledge. Then second one, management tools, separate discipline, then specialization, then professional association. First, we can see the topic body of knowledge. Management has now developed into a specialized body of management theory and philosophy. Management literature is growing in all countries. It is known as the body of knowledge. Then second one, management tools. Second one, management tools. It means tools of management have been developed such as accounting, business, law, psychology, statistics, econometrics, data processing, etc. So these are all the management tools. Then separate discipline. Management studies in many universities and institutions of higher learning are recognized as a separate discipline. Then next one, specialization. There is a growing tendency to select and appoint highly qualified, trained and experienced persons to manage the business in each functional areas of management. This is a specialization of the concept of management. Then last one, professional association. The business management associations in many countries to promote the spread of knowledge in all management areas and to build up the bright public image of managerial professions. So these are all the above concept is management concept. That is a characteristics of or futures of management. Then next question number 2, explain the management process in detail. There are 5 parts of management as a process. First one, coordination of resources. Second, the performance of managerial functions as a means of achieving coordination. The third, establishing the objective or purpose of management process. That is, it must be purposeful managerial activity. The fourth aspect is that management is a social process. And the fifth one is its cyclical nature. So these are all the management process. Then third one, describe the principles of scientific management. Principles of scientific management propounded by Taylor are explained in brief as follows. First one, science, not rule of thumb. In order to increase organizational efficiency, the rule of thumb method should be substituted. Rule of thumb means decisions taken by manager as per their personal judgments. This will help in saving time as well as human energy. It is known as the science, not rule of thumb. Then second one, harmony, not discord. Taylor emphasized that there should be complete harmony between the workers and the management. If there is any conflict between the two, it will not be beneficial either for the workers or the management. Both the management and the workers should realize the importance of each other. Then, next one, next principles of scientific management is mental revolution. The technique of mental revolution involves a change in the attitude of workers and management towards each other. This mental revolution requires a complete change in the outlook of both management and workers. Then cooperation, not individualism. This principles is an extension of principles of harmony, not discord. Cooperation, mutual confidence, some of goodwill should prevail among both managers as well as workers. Then last one, principles is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Efficiency of any organization also depends on the skills and capabilities of its employees to a great extent. Employees should be scientifically selected. This ultimately helps to attain efficiency and prosperity for both organization and the employees. So these are all the principles of scientific management. Then next one, explain the principles of modern management. Henry Fayol is the father of the modern of management. The following are the major principles of modern management or division of work. First one is division of work. According to this principle, the whole work is divided into small tasks. The specialization of the workforce according to the skills of a person, creating specific personal and professional development within the labor force and therefore increasing productivity. Then authority and responsibility. Then second one, authority and responsibility means the right of a superior to give the order to his subordinates, whereas responsibility means obligation for performance. Then third one, discipline. It is obedience, proper conduct in relation to others, respect of authority, etc. It is essential for the smooth functioning of all organization. Then unity of command. This principle states that each subordinate should receive orders and be accountable to one and only one superior. The next one, unity of direction. All related activities should be put under the one group. There should be one plan of action for them, and they should be under the control of one manager. Then, so these are all the scientific principles of scientific management. The next one question, chapter 2, first question, explain the various functions of management. The main functions of management are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, motivating, controlling, and coordination. The first one function is planning. Planning is the primary functions of management. Nothing can be performed without planning. For example, writing a book starts with planning. So look before you leap are traditional proverbs which provide a basis for planning. So planning is the primary function. The next one, organizing. So organizing, it is the process of establishing harmonious relationship among the members of an organization and the creation of network of relationship among them. So organization function or work is assigned to employees who are given authority to carry out the work assigned and made accountable for it. Then next one, directing. Directing denotes motivating, leading, guiding, and communicating with subordinates. So employees are kept informed of all necessary matters by circulars, instructions, manuals, newsletters, notice boards, meeting, participative mechanism, etc. So directing means denotes motivating, leading, guiding, and communicating with subordinate on an ongoing basis in order to accomplish preset goals. Then representation. A manager has to act as representative of a company. Manager as dealing with customers, suppliers, government officials, bankers. So it is the duty of every manager to have good relation with others. Then decision making. Every employees of an organization has to take a number of decisions every day. So decision making helps in the smooth functioning of an organization. Then next, what are the difference between new issue market and primary market? Sorry, secondary market. The first one is meaning. In the case of new issue market means the market price for new shares is called primary market, but secondary market, the price where formerly issued securities are traded is known as secondary market. Then buying, the case of new issue market, directly buying, but secondary market, indirect. The third one, securities sold. The case of new issue market, only once, but secondary market, multiple times. Then gain person. Who is a gain person of new issue market? Company is a new guided person, gain person in the new issue market, but investors is a gain person of the secondary market. Then intermediary. Who is the intermediary of new issue market? Underwriters is the intermediary of new issue market, but broker is the intermediary of secondary market. So these are all the difference between new issue market and secondary market. Then second one, enumerate the different kinds of financial markets. So kinds of financial market, marketable assets, non-marketable assets. First one, marketable assets. Marketable assets are those which can be easily transferred from one person to another without much hindrance. For example, shares of listed companies, government securities, etc. Then non marketable assets. If the assets cannot be transferred easily, they come under this category. Example, bank deposits, provident fund, PF, pension fund, etc. So these are the different kinds of financial market. Then next, discuss the role of financial market. The first one, savings mobilization. Obtaining funds from the surplus units such as business firms, public sector units, government is an important role played by financial market. Then second one, investment. Financial market play a key role in arranging the investment of funds thus collected in those units which are in need of the same. The national growth. So financial market contribute to nation's growth by ensuring on un, unfettered flow of surplus funds to deficit units. So flow of funds for productive purposes is also made possible. It leads to overall economic growth. The next one, entrepreneurship growth. Financial markets contribute to the development of the entrepreneurial class by making available the necessary financial resources. The industrial development. The different components of financial markets helps an accelerated growth of industrial and economic development of a country and thus contributing to raising the standard of living and the society's well-being. Then next question is, what are the functions of financial market? What are the functions of financial market? The financial market functions, the first ones, for there are two functions. First one is intermediary function and another one is financial function. The first one, intermediary function. The intermediary functions of a financial market include the following. First one, transfer of resources. Transfer of resources. Financial markets facilitate the transfer of real economic resource from lenders to ultimate borrowers. Then second one, enhancing income. Financial markets allow lenders earn interest or dividend on their surplus investable funds and thus contributing to the enhancement of the individual and the national income. Then third one, productive usage. It means financial markets allow for the productive use of the funds borrowed and thus enhancing the income and the gross national production. Then capital formation. It means financial markets provide a channel through which new savings flow to aid capital formation of a country. Then sale mechanism. Financial market provides a mechanism for selling of a financial asset by an investor so as to offer the benefits of marketability and liquidity of such assets. Then next one, so these are all the main functions of financial market, or intermediary functions. Then go to next lesson, chapter 5. First question, chapter 5, capital market. So first question, discuss the characters of a capital market. The characters of a capital market are as follows. First one, securities market. The dealings in a capital market are done through the securities like shares, debentures, etc. The capital market is thus called as securities market. Then second one, price. The price of the securities is determined based on the demand and supply prevailing in the capital market for securities. Then participants. There are many players in the capital market. The participants of the capital market include individuals, corporate sectors, government, banks, and other financial institutions. Then location. Capital market is not confined to certain specific locations, although it is true that parts of the market are concentrated in certain well known centers known as the stock exchanges. It has its impact in the overall economy wherever suppliers and users of capital get together and do business. Then market for financial assets. So capital market provides a transaction platform for long term financial assets. So these are all the main characteristics of a capital market. So students, today we had completed from lesson number 1, 2, 4 and 5 mark questions. I will give some study materials related on this lesson. Read more on these questions. I will give few assignment. Write it in the assignment notebook. If you have any doubt, please contact me. Thank you, students.